Alrighty, it is another Friday, so another community call, and this week we are in the Raw Realm think tank, where we are going to be talking about so many things that we are working on, like Realm Runways in New York happening in just a few weeks, our awesome glow team, our brain, and just everything else we're working on, like our seasonal workshop that's coming up because we have so much working. We have found little teams, that are working on these different things, but we have to be working towards the same mission, right? Coming together to share these ideas so we understand exactly where we're going as we're building these things out. So it's always great to come together every week and come on with our core teams here in the Raw Realm and actually think, share, and talk about these ideas. So, starting with Realm Runways. So, the first thing I want to remind everyone is that these submissions are due by the end of this month, which is the 31st. So, you've got a week and a weekend. That's it. A week and a weekend. That's it. But if you want to contribute something, that's plenty of time to get it together and get it submitted. I'm really excited to announce that all of our collaborations so far have made great progress. So myself, I'm going to be tie-dyeing our banner during our jam session live tomorrow. Some of you guys may have seen in the ideas chat where, again, we are sharing, ideas so everyone can contribute. I shared my tie-dye idea and we all kind of picked colors, and that was a really great conversation to, determine that we'll be using green, yellow, and black as our colors on the banner with some glow in the dark fun. And tomorrow we'll be jamming live. While I do that live behind the scenes, I have a DJ, which is going to be awesome. And that's really important because that's a utility that I offer to my collectors club. So when somebody buys one of my t-shirts that I'm selling, they get invited to be in one of our locked text chat, the collectors club, where I text and share ideas along the way. And then also we have a live jam session where they get to watch me get started on their tie-dye creations. So that's going to be something really important because it's going to be something all of us are going to be able to offer. So I'm going to get into that a little further down the line. But right now, just talking about our Raw Realm submissions. So I'm going to be doing that tie-dye banner. I'm also going to send in a Galaxy t-shirt that's going to be for auction since it will no longer be available after January. And then I'll also be sending in a new crew neck. Which I'm going to be selling next month. And I only have 10 of those available. So one will be for sale to show others at the runway. That. And I have my laptop coming in. So I'm really hoping that I'm able to create the digital piece myself in order to put it on the runway and get that going. But aside from that, Tiny and Sergio have been able to create their jewelry boxes, which is great. Tiny worked with Cripsy in order to get her digital jewelry created, and Sergio's been working really hard on those boxes. So if you guys know anybody that has physical jewelry, again, Tiny has physical jewelry boxes. So this is going to be one of those things we can offer to anyone who has something going and wants to see how they can get in the door. We, as the Raw Realm, are creating these different tools to help them get into the door. So that's really exciting. And also, one thing Tiny and I are working on is she has molds for apples. So she makes her stuff out of resin. So we're going to make a resin apple for each designer, and it'll include their name and their social media so that whenever we have runways, we can send out our banner and our apples to display on our tables or anything like that. So each designer will have an apple there with their name and socials to do that. So I'll be collecting everyone's information for that, and really grateful to, be able to team up with Tiny for that. Also, Jazzy, her and Amanda have a Got Your Back sweatsuit that is going to be available. They do have the physical and digital. And one thing that they're doing, Jazzy's physical business, she's also in the first Black Virtual Mall. That's the name of it. And she's already in there. But while they have this digital suit that we'll be putting on the runway show, part of her initial business, like her real business that she sells in real life is a part of her profits go back to charity, whether it's something she's doing, whether it's an organization that she's chosen at that time, but she always makes it a part of her mission to give part of the proceeds to a good cause. So that is something, again, we all will have to come together as a group to decide what is going to be that first cause that we are going to be donating to. So any sales of this Got Your Back times Raw sweatsuit will, a part of that proceeds will go to the organization that we choose. So I'm really excited about that. And if you guys heard her in our last call, that's just, again, she understands in this physical to digital space, there's going to be that gap too of, people that may be falling in that gap. So being able to work with people that are working in that community to help those is just really important. So super excited to have someone like that leading that initiative. So we're able to literally physically give back while working this digital world. So super excited about that. Also, we have CJ, who is working on her crochet outfit. She has a scarf, tube top, and sweatshirt, and it looks amazing. She actually crocheted everything herself and made the digital items herself as well. So I'm really proud of her for being able to get all of that done, moving, and just working on that. And it's going to be really exciting to see all that she does with that, see it on the runway. And again, she got these physical crochet items that she does and will be able to sell. So really excited for that. And last is Alexay and Merv. If you guys did not see, and a lot of these people shared their updates already in the collaborations chat. So if you want to see it, check there. I'm not going to ask anybody to post their final looks there just yet because I do want it to be a bigger reveal during Fashion Week. So I've seen just about all the finals already and kind of helping people one-on-one with those details. But today it was really important that we talk about a lot of the other details that we have to talk about together. So that's just about everything that we have for physical to digital. I also have a big collaboration with 2 digi models to make like a big scene. You guys know our theme is blackout. So even if you haven't had a chance to submit anything yet, there's still time, like I said, a week in a weekend. So if you have a creation or want to create something along the theme blackout, you don't have to have the physical item. It could be physical, it could be digital, or if you have both, great. But whatever you have, if it fits in with the theme blackout, feel free to share under Raw Realm because you guys see we are working hard to make an impact and make a blackout. That's why our theme is blackout. Everybody is afraid of the blackout and we are the blackout. So with that, we do have to talk about a few things to really make that possible. Now that the creating's done, everybody had, their visions and was able to create it. We have to talk about, okay, how are we going to mint it? How are we about to sell it? And how is this about to look? So first and foremost, if you are not already a part of the Global Designer Network, you must get onboarded there. You have to have your profile set up and have all of that set so that you're able to mint and be a part of that ecosystem as well, because we are a branch off of that tree. And until we have our own marketplace, that's where all of our items will be listed. And even when we do have our own marketplace, I'm still just as active in Global Designer Network as I am in Raw, because that's like our mom. It's like we're the kid, they're our mom. So just being a part of that as well is going to help you as a designer. You can be involved in as many realms as you would like, as many that fit you. Start putting your work out there and collaborating and connecting with people, because that's what we stand for here in the Raw Realm. Connecting with people, learning together, and coming back to share what we're working on and share the resources that we've gathered. So I encourage everyone to do that. I'm also going to figure out a day this week, maybe everybody that has questions, I'll have another chat to make sure everybody's onboarded. Emma has a great tutorial that I'm going to drop here. And then I'll also put together like maybe a step-by-step how-to of what you need to do from the Raw Realm to the Global Designer Network to be set up and minting projects on there for moving forward. So did anybody have any questions about anything I've mentioned so far, about like submissions for New York Fashion Week or how that would work. I know I didn't cover too much about how to get onboarded on the Global Designer Network, but it's really not complicated. It's just a matter on joining that Discord and creating your designer profile on the designer page so that as you upload your work, it will go right there. It's really simple. So, but I'm going to still create a very simple, even simpler how-to so that you guys could see that clear step by step. And again, that can be something we can continue to cycle and cipher as more and more designers come in, because we're growing. We almost at like, 100 people, and it's only been a month. And when people hear our idea, it's not like most people really gravitated, especially if they are into physical, into digital, and into educating and collaborating, because that's what we stand for. So I haven't seen anybody unmute, so I'm guessing no questions about that. All right. Alrighty, well, moving right along, let's talk money. I know it can be kind of taboo because what we're doing is not for the money, blah, blah, blah. But we have to talk about the money because these are still businesses and we have to be doing things that make sense. So some of the things that we have to do as a realm in general are set certain base prices so that as you're listing your items, we all set a standard for what the Raw Realm is worth. That way somebody isn't charging $50,000 and then somebody's charging $40. Of course, there can be a little bit of a gap and a little bit of a difference for like luxury and haute couture and, maybe more regular, but we need to have a certain standard. And with that, one of the biggest standards that I myself have learned having this physical to digital t-shirt on the market this month is I want to make sure it's a realistic number so that we can consider a lot of things, such as, for example, we have Tiny and Sergio who have a physical to digital box. So that means our splits are going to be 50-50. Now, I'm not no dictator, so if you and another designer that you're collaborating with, feel like that split should be different, of course, do whatever you guys feel is best. But one of the other things that we also will have included is 5% will go to the Raw Realm Treasury. The Raw Realm Treasury is something that you guys know, again, as a DAO, will be able to vote on in order to do great things like how you see Global Designer Network doing like the spotlight every week where they can actually buy and support their artists that are, supporting their ecosystem as well, and being able to just use that capital in order to do the things we need to do as a DAO in order to grow and expand. So I have put that 5% there just so that all 5% of the proceeds can start going to helping us build our treasury as we get started. And then again, that split will have to go between designers. So back to the example with Tiny and Sergio. Imagine they have this jewelry box and, say if they set it for like $500 initially. Now they have this 50-50 split where both of them are maybe now getting $250. Like I said, Raw Realm is getting 15%. And also, if you upload stuff on Global Designer Network, they're taking 15%. So, and again, that's why I said until we get our own marketplace, we can't get away from those two splits. So once we have our own marketplace, that split will basically be in the Raw Realm split already because part of our proceeds will go back to them anyway. So you won't be getting that twice, if that makes sense. But for now, you will have to do that 15% towards Global Designer Network, 5% towards Raw Realm, and then the remainder 80% will be split between the two designers. So now imagine now what Tiny and Sergio are both down to about $200. We can say a split, right? $100 gone, $200 split. So Sergio, who made the digital box, is great, right? Because he made the digital, he doesn't have to do anything else, all profit from there. Only thing he has to do now is, either keep it in his wallet or move it around and cash out. If you guys don't know, gas fees are real. And gas fees can be anywhere between $100, $200, anywhere. And if you find it under $100, that's a good deal. So imagine Sergio wants to cash out his money and has to pay $100 in gas fees because that's the only option he knows. Now he's down to $100 as well. Now say the same thing for Tiny, who has to do that because she has a physical item and has to be able to create it, get the materials, and ship it. So now, say back to Tiny. So she has the physical box, her $200 profit. She has to cash it out. So she found the best gas fee she could, $100. So now she's got $100 left and has to use what, $50 on materials and shipping. So all of that, her item sold for $500, but yet she's only walking away with $50 profit. And one thing I'm going to always emphasize is we are creators and we have to be mindful of the game we're playing, which means you have to be accounting for your taxes. Any sales you make, you need to be accounting for your taxes, regardless on if you think you'll be able to balance them out so they'll write off or whatever. I'm no tax advisor, so I'm not going to tell you how to play the game. All I'm going to tell you is if you sell something and make profit, it's best to know that a third of that as well should be accounted towards your taxes. And of course, like I just said, you can use that tax for staking. For me personally, when I get that 1/3, I put it somewhere where I can stake it. So it's accumulating interest just like any other savings account, except for I'm in crypto. So it's getting a lot more interest than I would in a regular savings account. So when Uncle Sam comes rolling around, I have some money just in case I need to pay anything and I'm not putting myself in a pickle. So if we're not putting realistic prices on our work, it's not going to make sense. And that's not what I teach by any means. And if you guys know me, you know that. And if you don't know me, you're getting to know me and know I'm going to always do my best to tell you guys how to do things that make sense and not do something that doesn't make sense. So, all that is food for thought. If anybody wants to talk more, of course, get with me. But some of these base prices that I have kind of thought about, and this I even thought about, like I said, I talked to Tiny a lot, and her and Sergio are doing this physical to digital box. So even when I was helping her with trying to find that perfect price, I used that when I was thinking, well, what kind of standards can we set for everyone? So far I'm thinking for our base prices, we can say $350 for a digital. I think for that, I would be willing to go down to $200 because that would be maybe not as expensive. So that if you just have, digital items that you want to put on the marketplace and get for sale, the lowest that you should do that for is $200. And $300, I would say, again, that's what we should be comfortable putting ourselves out. If you go and look at the Digitalax marketplace, that will give you the best idea on pricing. And of course, additions come down to matter as well. How many of these that are going to come, right? And that's why I say, if you're going to do more additions and want to get more out, then we can go down to $200 being the minimum for something common. But other than that, if you're selling a digital item, you really shouldn't want to put it out there for anything less than $350. If you're selling a physical item and it doesn't have the digital pair, you're just selling your physical item, you should not put it on there for less than $500. Again, I just listed my t-shirt January 1st, right? I listed my t-shirt for $250 on the marketplace. We're also in the crypto. So guess what? Mona's down. So my t-shirt went from $250 to $150. So that's a whole $100 off my profit that I thought. And like I just told you guys, you got to account for a lot of other profit. So when I say I really learned a lot this month and how we have to make better pricing point ideas, it really comes from blood, sweat, and tears of learning, how to value that work. And again, thinking, most of these people in NFT spaces are happy just buying the digital pair. So us even coming and offering that physical item, that's amazing. And a lot of other people aren't doing that. If you have this physical item, people can buy that physical item and stake it. I know T Cook on here do candles. So say you can even send in a candle. You could put that on there, because in the Raw Realm, our physical to digital marketplace is going to have a place for any kind of business that, if you have your physical item, you sell it on our marketplace because now people are using that and can stake it, little stuff like that. And maybe something like that is a timer because, candles burn and you can just start doing different incentives, to get people involved in this physical aspect. So, so far, again, the base price for digital should be $200 if it's common, $350 if it's not, $500 for physical. If it's physical to digital and you did that complete pair all by yourself, I would say $750 is again the minimum because again, they're getting that digital item as everybody is selling their digital items on the marketplace, but you're also offering that physical, which a lot of other people are not. So hold your value and don't be afraid to say it's worth $750, even if you think your physical may not be $750, right? Because that's what I was thinking at first. Like, man, I mean, some t-shirts, yes, $250. I was like, that's expensive for a t-shirt, or like I said, I know CJ, she's sitting in a crochet scarf, so you might think, I've never paid $750 for a scarf, but these luxury brands will charge that much for their clothes because that's how much they value it. So we have to be holding in that same value for our physical items because of all the assets or all the incentives that come with the digital assets that it's paired to. So again, if you have that physical to digital, or as we call P2D item that you created all yourself, $750. And if it's a collaboration between two designers, it should not be going less than $1,000. I just broke down the science to you guys. If you charge anything less, how both designers will kind of end up hurting, especially the physical more. So if we set that standard of $1,000, you're getting a collaboration and supporting two artists and getting a physical item, it should be worth $1,000. There's plenty of things that go for that price, and that's the kind of things we want to hold in value. One thing I will also add to incentivize that value, like I was saying before, is you guys know I have the Collectors Club for people who get physical items. So one thing we will be adding is actually the Designers Club. So the Designers Club is going to be a locked chat here in the Discord with all of our designers who submit stuff onto the marketplace that come with physical items. And I'm even thinking maybe digital. It's just a matter on how we can make the digital a little fun. And I mean, you could do really the same thing, but having that physical item, you're going to be able to offer that same live behind the scenes one-on-one with your collectors. So say again, Tiny, for example, somebody buys your bracelets. Instead of you just mailing it off, it's like, okay, great. You've got my bracelet. Now come join the Designers Club and we can talk one-on-one while I'm making your bracelet. Or for me, I'm not one that likes to really talk too much. I just turn the music on really loud and I'm like, you guys just turn your Discord up loud and let's just jam together. Let's, create an awesome playlist, and whatever you're doing on Saturday, just listen to this music while I'm listening to the music, and we're all getting our work done and, vibing and jamming and stuff like that. That's what I enjoy doing. But every designer is different. So here in the Raw Realm, this is going to be an exclusive incentive all the designers are going to be able to offer, especially because our designer chat, the text chat, is going to have all of our designers. So if a collector, collects Tiny's earrings, then they'll also get to see the behind the scenes of maybe Zay collecting, and it'll just become this, club of our designers and collectors where we can offer those incentives and perks of investing and getting that physical item and creating with those designers. So really excited about that. I think that's going to be a great thing. And another reason on why, again, we have to hold that value and think about the things that we are putting with our NFTs. Like I said, if you have that digital, you can also have the physical. You can also have whatever, you can get creative with NFTs. Think about other incentives you can offer collectors to incentivize them to buy that, to see value in it. And there's just so much room for creativity. So that's about what I had there for our base prices. Did anybody have any thoughts or questions or concerns about any of those prices, or even a thought about some extra incentives we could offer as a realm in general? Anything? Any thoughts? Nope. Okay, great. Well, I'm going to take that as everybody is in agreement then. So moving right along, we are going to be talking about our Glow team next. Our Glow team. So excited about that. So our Glow team, you guys can thank that name over to Zay. If you heard initially when we started having our first few community calls, we already understood we're building this to become a DAO. So in a DAO, we need to have certain groups in order to make this work and make this efficient. So what we did was we condensed the teams, right? We thought of what groups we need and what kind of things they need to be doing. So we've condensed them down to just 5 teams, which are engineers, creatives, educators, moderators, and strategists. Now, under each of these 5, of course, different things can fall under that. Like, for example, the strategists, under that we have our information aggregators, event planners, content creators, moderators. Of course, that's going to be people here in the Discord, on forums, on social media again, educators. You guys can see again how many titles fall under each category. And that's what leads us into our next thing on. These are our 5 categories, and we've decided on a theme as well, which is fraternities. It's going to be the Raw Brotherhood. When people join our core team and want to start putting in that blood, sweat, and tears and the work that comes into creating a community, they're going to be joining the Raw Brotherhood. So that's why we went with this idea of, fraternity, sorority. That's why it's called the GLOW team, which stands for Greek Letter Organization. And that also was led because we are monitoring ourselves after a university, right? We're creating educational information here in our realm, and we're building connections. And that's exactly what people join these different organizations to do, to learn and to connect. So once you join these organizations, that's what we're doing here as well. So those are our groups. Next, what we'll have to do, Zay did also decide or come up with the names too. So we even have the little Greek name for each one. I'll post the picture because I don't have it pulled up right now. But we did pick up 5 names for each of them, which are really great. I will give an example. I don't remember the whole spelling for the education one, but say for example, it would just, how Kappa Alpha Psi, that's a normal fraternity now, and for short they go by Kappas. So if that was the Raws, it would be the Raw Kappas. We're just going to take that first name and put Raw in front of it. And if you're an engineer, it would be Raw Epsilon, or however it goes. But it'll make more sense when I put the names out and you guys can actually see what names we chose. But today we need to talk about what each of those entail. Now, y'all about to get some super, super juicy information, because I've been holding this in my heart ever since I've started this about what our digital big thing is, right? Because I was I need to wait until I get my computer so I can be dropping these so nobody else hops on this idea. But what my big digital asset is that I'm going to be creating are patches. So it's just you guys see right now, if you come to our Raw workshops on Wednesdays on Twitter Spaces, then you get a POP, right? You get these different incentives. And if you think about even Girl Scout Club, you go and complete a certain thing, then you get a certain patch to put on your banner, right? So I'm going to be creating those kind of patches for different things that are accomplished here in our community. I'm even going to sell them regular. So, that's going to be the thing that I have to sell. And it's going to be AR, so you can put it on anything. And it's going to be able to get 3D printed. So you could really print it out and put it on anything for real as well if you want the physical. So that's my big plan with the digital, but it really starts with our core team, because once you join that core team, again, it's also one of our digital things is going to be a Letterman jacket, because again, we're monitoring ourselves after these universities, right? So you're going to get your Letterman jacket, and then you'll be able to start collecting patches. So your first one will be the core group that you're a part of. So one of the things we have to decide as a group are going to be the colors for each group. We have 5. So I want each group to kind of think about the color, or maybe 2 colors that will represent them and their group. And then also a symbol, right? So maybe for engineer, it could be I don't know, a hammer or something, a construction, I don't know, something that we could put on the patch though to represent what they're doing, so that they're the Raw Epsilon engineers, or whatever the case may be. So that's what we're working on now. We need to figure out, we got our 5 groups, what their names are, and now we need to figure out how we can create the NFT, because once we figure out the colors and the symbols, then the NFT will be created, and then each person will get it. And the goal is to have that by the Realm Runways. That'll be kind of like our first initiation for the people that are officially in the Raw Realm. Everybody that submits work will hopefully be rewarded their patch, to say you're a part of this core team. Let's keep building. And everybody that's been putting in has emphasized that, they want to be creating, especially the two designers who have helped with creating digital pieces for some of our physical designers. They want to be those people that are in here helping people. And we are looking for many digital designers because we're trying to take over this whole physical to digital space. So as we continue to grow, there's plenty of people that have hit me up with physical items that want to go digital, but we don't have enough digital designers yet. So as we grow, I know each group will grow, but with ours starting now, I really want to make sure I get those patches together so that we can, they can get rewarded. And all of these NFTs will also be stakeable. We do have our own smart contracts. So all the airdrops that you're getting, all the NFTs that you'll be getting, all of these will be stakeable. This also leads into like our Patreon NFTs. Once we even get that, I'll start not advertising, but putting that kind of stuff out more like, hey, we're building something. If you believe in it, you can come and Patreon it, and then you'll get a patch too. So, just creating these different things that will be cohesive throughout our realm to be rewarding people that are putting in work for different things. So super excited to start on the patches and to let you guys know what we have so far on all of that. I'll drop in the ideas again, what those names are so that everybody can share some ideas for the colors and symbols and, whatever they think for the patches. That would be really cool. But just really excited for that and to start onboarding and initiating, and like we have a whole thing like even with the initiation process, like pledging and like making it 2 steps, having a lot of fun. That's what we do here in the Raw Realm, right? We try to do something different, do what others aren't doing, do what people understand so that they can get in and get to work for real. So did anybody have any questions about any of that so far either? About our groups? Anything? Nope. Alrighty. So moving right along then, we are going to be moving to our first seasonal workshop. We also have our magazine, our digital magazine that will be released with each workshop. And we have actually a little magazine team that has been working on it, sharing some ideas. If you guys would like to be a part of it or know someone that might be a part of it, feel free to reach out because, again, each team is growing. But we have started working on that magazine. And even if maybe it's not the magazine, but putting together the workshop, again, that's why I said we have event planners because we are going to have these workshops every season. So if you guys aren't familiar with seasons, because I know we do have a few new people here today, basically each season is each quarter. So right now we are in Raw season 1, and with each season we have a few things that are going to be, again, cohesive, which is a theme. So this this season's theme is blackout. So that means this whole theme, everybody can mint or create patterns and digital stuff using this theme blackout. It also goes into, we're going to have a seasonal workshop at the end of each season in order to continue that education. So I would love to talk more about, what people were thinking for that first season. I've actually when that could be, how we can start putting that together so that we can start promoting that as well. And I know in our last conversation in the chat, Musashi had actually said that he would be willing to have like a in metaverse, in world, like how to kind of thing, like how to start creating stuff like games in the metaverse without any code. So I think that's going to be like our big hoorah for the end of our first season workshop. And for this workshop, I'm thinking it should be something like 3 days. Oh yeah, let me go back to the overview. So basically with each workshop, so each season will have a workshop. But one thing that's going to also be really big, right, so that it keeps the excitement growing and gives our collectors and community an idea of long term. So each season we know we have our workshops, but we will also have a semi-annual award show, which will happen during the second what will happen during the second workshop, which again will be something where we can come together, honor all of our collectors, honor all of our people who have been putting in work, honor all of our Patreons, and just, have an award show. We could do superlatives and just all kind of stuff, but, give people a reason to even show up in the metaverse, dressed up and, different things that we're used to in the real world, right? Monitoring ourselves off of things like that really worked well. So we'll have a semi-annual award show, and then we will have an annual ball. The annual ball will be at the end of the year. The semi-annual award show will be in the middle of the year. So that's the goal with that, in order to keep spicing up our workshops. But this first workshop for this first season, I'm thinking it should be something like a good intro, to what this is. So again, since Musashi did say he would be willing to go in game and show us that, I think that would be a really great way to end it. Especially also 2 Digimodels have reached out and said that they would like to teach during the workshop. So I think it's going to be really cool to just make it like 3 days and kind of like an intro day. If you guys are familiar with how Web3 fashion went, it basically was like all on YouTube it was on YouTube. And basically they would have a few different speakers during the day. So we can line it up like that, or we can have one speaker on one day and, just do that 3 different days. So first, say for example, the first day could be like Alana, the Web3 girl, and she goes over DeFi versus CeFi, right? Because she's very big into DeFi and how to get into DeFi and the difference between centralized and just kind of going over that difference, because we are in DeFi, right? We're on the Polygon network and using Mona, and we are trying to be decentralized. So it's important to understand the difference between centralized and decentralized and how we can kind of work together. If you guys have been paying attention to this Twitter stuff, I've been tweeting about it because every time I get on, it's like another debate about, Twitter is centralized and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, but we're still talking about NFTs. So like, that's really the point of this all. So let's, stay focused to that instead of worrying about who's doing what and who's where. Like, let's stay focused. Like, okay, NFTs can be profile pictures and you have to verify, and let's stay focused on the point here. Right. So it'll be really cool, I think, to have Alana, the Web3 girl, kind of go over that as an intro. The next day, Asa, the Digi Elf, she does a intro to like designer, digital design classes in her real life. So she will be leading a intro to digital design course. And then again, Musashi will be how to actually get in game and create these coding courses. So I've kind of outlined that and, based on what people have said so far, and thought that would be kind of a good way to put that together into like a good little intro to what it is that we can kind of keep building out from there. But again, we have all year. If we decide, maybe this time we should just focus on one thing in order to make it cohesive, I'm open to it. I'm just putting all of what I have out there to you guys to see what you guys are thinking, so that again, we can lock in our speakers, we can lock in our date, and we can start pushing, because that's what makes the difference, right? It's not if you're the best author, it's if you're the best seller. So we have to be able to create and then start marketing, start selling, start putting our stuff out there. And that's what's going to start making the difference as well. So really want to get that kind of stuff rolled out, ironed out, so we can really start advertising. So did anybody have any ideas about the first workshop, the magazine, anything like that? Our magazine, so far, our theme is kind of like a yearbook. Again, where in the yearbook, we can show, all the designers. We can show a bunch of NFTs. We'll have unlockables where people can submit stuff. There'll be advertising opportunities in there and just a lot of stuff in the magazine in general. And of course, we'll start sharing that more as we go, because I know I've put out a lot in general today, but these are all the things that we're working on. These are all the things that take to run a DAO and a realm in order for us to all be successful. So I haven't seen anybody unmute. No questions. Okay, no problem. Last topic for today is the brain. So as you guys seen, I did drop a link to a Google Drive known as the brain. This is going to be something that we can all start adding to. Again, really important, as we are going to be the leaders of this physical to digital space. We want to be making sure we're saving this information, organizing it, and putting it in a way that's going to be easier to pass on to the next. So in the brain, we have a couple different sections. And basically each section, there's 6. So 5 all correlate with the groups that I went over before, so that of course each group, can have a folder that they can share information that's helping their group. Again, articles, YouTube videos, tutorials that they create, because I also want to create an avenue for creators. Say, for example, one thing I really would like to create on our marketplace as well is something called like a study hall. If you guys don't know, something I do on it's not my part-time, but on the side, is I teach an intro to crypto class where people can book one-on-one sessions with me or my husband, who's really does that, and where I got the model from. But they can book one-on-one sessions with me for intro to crypto. So I would really like to be able to create a place like that for all designers, educators, people here to be able to offer that same service. You have a study hall. If somebody wants to meet one-on-one, say for example, CJ, say somebody wants to learn how to crochet, right? They could book a study hall with you, and it doesn't have to be super expensive, but just buying an NFT to be able to lock in that time with you and be able to talk to you about crocheting and learn how to, and creating different things like that to encourage our people to continue to put out information, educate, and also go a little deeper if needed. So creating this brain is going to be really exciting to start saving all our resources there. I know people have gotten even a lot greater at starting to share more and more news in the chat. So it's really great to see that growing. As you keep seeing it, keep dropping in our chat, in our Discord. That's what our Discord is created for. This is not the Mo show. This is not the Raw Apparel show. It's created for everyone to share all the work that they're working on, articles, NFTs, anything. You got it, share it. We want to support it. We want to uplift it. And that's what our community is all about. So the brain is a way that we are going to be able to continue to build on that effectively, efficiently. And aside from the 5 categories for each group, the other category is specifically for businesses. So in that one, if you guys have seen before, Sergio had gave idea to start like a chambers of commerce. There we go. Chambers of commerce for businesses, right, that are getting into this space to know, these are the resources. This is what you got to do in order to create this physical to digital business, which we all know is the goal. So just, again, organizing it and stuff like that is what's going to make the difference. I see I got a mention, so let me read it. I got to get better at reading these things in here. Okay, agreed. This is really great info. Awesome. Thanks, CJ. Appreciate that. So, yeah, after the brain, that's all I have for you guys today. Just, again, wanted to let everybody know the updates for New York Realm Runways, what everybody's going to be submitting. There is still plenty of time if you are a digital wizard to submit under the Raw Realm. Just ask that you use the theme Blackout, whatever that means to you. Work it and submit it under Raw Realm, and we would love to see that, support it, and uplift it. Talk about our base prices. If you guys have any ideas, don't agree, should agree, think we should go up even more, because again, I'm still working that balance, right? I've put it at the bare minimum that I even still believe, knowing like, we can even still charge more, because again, people can. So, wow, deja vu. But again, those are the base prices I've thought of so far. Our Designers Club, which is going to be an incentives that we can all offer, and everybody start thinking about what price you want to put on your item, what incentives you want to include. Our Glow team, which are 5 groups, what groups you want to be a part of. One of the things, once we have our DAO and governance token rolling, you will be able to do daily items and achieve daily goals in order to receive governance tokens daily. So again, that's going to be something we're going to have to come together to think, what are going to be the certain things we think each group should be doing daily in order to keep us on track to success. Also our workshop, our magazine. I know digital magazines are even, kind of old school. So if anybody has even an idea on how we can kind of revamp that and, keep it fresh, and maybe even in a different format or style, or any way we can, do these seasonal things each month in order to come together, create these amazing pieces, and make profit, right? Because we don't want to be doing this work in vain. It's great creating. We understand long term, all of this is going to pay off. But in the present, there's a lot of stuff happening outside as well. And we all have to be doing as much as we can now in order to prepare for that. And making money doesn't hurt. So, just put in that effort to market so that we can all start selling stuff, all start achieving goals, all start, being able to get that so that it enables us to get to the next as well. And then lastly is just adding to the brain. So welcome, Sergio. I know you just hopped in, but we're just about wrapping up here. I did record it, so you can catch the recording. I dropped a lot of information. But again, I am going to also see when everybody that's not on board with the Global Designer Network can meet so that we can talk if you guys have any questions. I am in the safe space, I call that, on Sundays. So maybe that can be our first day actually on Sunday. Everybody go on over to the Global Designer Network if you're not already a part of it. We will get you onboarded. Chess is actually even an onboarder as well. So that's like our forte, right? We know how to get you guys in it. We know how to get you guys set up. And that's where you want to be. Again, that's the roots that we're rooted in. We're just a branch off of that tree. So being involved with them, it's going to just make you an even better designer here in the Web3 space, in this fashion NFT space. So just really great to be connecting. And I'm happy that you guys are here in the Raw Realm and connecting with us here. So again, if you haven't dropped your wallet address before, make sure you do in the airdrop section. Everyone here, I will be airdropping a token of appreciation. I know a few of you already have gotten your token of appreciation, but if you haven't, drop your wallet address and I'll make sure you get that. Also, I think that was it. Yeah, that's it actually. So yes, this has been great. Did anybody have any last questions, ideas, thoughts, anything they wanted to share, talk about? Nope. Alrighty. Well, this has been great, guys. Our next update will be next Friday. That one will be in the Digitalax server. You guys know we are going to keep coming every Friday. Next Friday will be in the Digitalax server to, again, not advertise, but just update the entire network on what we're doing and let them know Raw Realm is not playing. We are ready for Realm Runways. We've got our stuff in, we are set up, and we are coming with our blackout. So really excited, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Peace.
Bye. Thanks for everything. And I just want to let you know there was no community call in the meantime.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Yeah.